All right, I want you to discuss a little more today about the Lord's Supper, what we began to think about previously in all the videos leading up to now. With your family, discuss how the Lord's Supper should be joyful, like celebrating the 4th of July. Independence Day. Explain how so, right? Do you remember our conversation from last time? Now explain how celebrating the Lord's Supper should be joyful, like Thanksgiving. Again, do you remember why we said that from last time? Can you remember the history of the Passover, about 1500 BC with Moses and the Israelites there? See if you can remember the context. Finally, explain how celebrating the Lord's Supper should be like celebrating Christmas, the festival of Christ's coming to us. You can think about what the Passover foreshadowed, or you can think about even today when we take and eat, we're thinking about something else as well. All right. After you've had time to talk, just kind of tune into the video. Of course, the other attitude we should have when taking the Lord's Supper is like that of a patient who is finishing up their last round of chemotherapy. So this is another illustration that we can latch onto when we take the Lord's Supper. So a patient who's been suffering from cancer but now is about ready to receive a clean bill of health. They're on their last treatment and they're going to get the diagnosis, or I should say the declaration from the doctor that the cancer is in remission. Why would we say that about the Lord's Supper? What reason would we have for that, do you think? I want you to talk a little bit about that as I read to you from Psalm 133-4. If you, O Lord, kept a record of sins, O Lord, who could stand? But with you there is forgiveness, so that you may be feared. Now, if you're going to connect that to the Lord's Supper, we're going to find out from God's Word. When we receive the body and blood of Christ, it's for our forgiveness. And that would address, wouldn't it, the consequences and the condition that we suffer from, the cancer of sin? So see if you can, in your own thinking, your own words, explain how every time you receive the Lord's Supper, it's like a last treatment of chemotherapy. All right, for next time, we'll further ourselves along in this. The Lord's blessings to you as you talk about these precious things.